My name is Sully. I'm 22 years old. I'm a husband, father, and a pilot. This is my journey and me documenting trying to make it to the airlines and my family's life, our struggles, and also being young parents and pretty freshly married at a young age. I wanted to make this video to talk a little about myself so that you guys have a better understanding of my life right now. I'm originally from South Carolina. I grew up on a chicken farm in South Carolina until I was about 10 years old. After about 10 years old, moved to Florida with my family. My dad started selling boats. And so I've lived here ever since. I was homeschooled for most of my life up until 11th grade, and those last 11th and 12th grade, I dual enrolled at a nearby college. So I graduated with my associate's degree. I've been in Florida ever since. I'm 22 now. And a little about my aviation journey so far. I could get more into it on another video, but so essentially out of high school, I didn't know what I wanted to do. After I graduated, I knew I didn't want to go to college because high school wasn't really my thing. I did a test flight, it's called a discovery flight. Essentially, you go up with an instructor and fly around, see if you like it. I did that and I loved it. I looked into the flight schools that were in Florida, and then I found ATP Flight School, which is an accelerated commercial flight school, which is where I went. So I took out a loan and went there. It was in Jacksonville. I went there for a year, and then after a year, which was an intense year to say the least, I finished my training there. I finished as an instructor, so I could teach all the levels of pilot certificates, anywhere from private pilot, commercial, instrument, multi-engine. After I finished there, I found a flight school that was just opening up, and I became their first flight instructor at this flight school. This was when I was 19, so it was pretty cool to have that experience so young, being 19, being the only flight instructor at that flight school. So I flight instructed for a year and a half. I did that until I was about 1,200 hours, flight hours, which that's really what it's all about, is the flight hours. And then you need 1,500 in order to get to the airlines. So anyways, I had about 1,200 flight hours when I stopped instructing because I got a better opportunity to go fly. It's called a Bonanza, a little 6-seater propeller plane. I was flying it privately for a family for right at a year. Just a few months ago now, I had to quit that job because of some inconsistencies with especially the pay, but really the owner. I'm not going to get into it on this video, but maybe in a future video I can. Quit that job when my daughter was about a week old, almost 2 weeks old. And so that was a scary transition because I was on a salary. I had to quit because I needed something more consistent. That was a few months ago when I quit. And so currently I'm working at the airport as a line service guy, essentially marshaling planes, helping with bags, towing planes, fueling planes, bringing out catering, getting pilots ice, all the things like that. I didn't have another flying job that I could go to right after I quit, and so I figured this was the next best thing, is working at the airport still, getting connections, trying to either find another job or just be able to fly or get some kind of connections. And so at this point, my last day is in a few days working here, and I'm going to go back to flight instructing at the company that I used to work for, and continue building my flight time. Also, a few months ago, I interviewed with SkyWest Airlines, the regional airline, and got the job offer 2 months ago now. And so it's really a matter of waiting for a class date now. Class dates have been months out for people, and so it's really just a waiting game. And so now we're just, me and my family, are trying to, make enough money and survive until we get to that training date, since you start getting paid as soon as you start training with the airlines. So yeah, I just really wanted to document the process so far, the struggles of being a young pilot, trying to build hours, young husband, young father, documenting the ins and outs of my life. Also, my wife will probably make a video like this, or we'll make one together, and we can talk about our relationship and how we operate and do things and how we take care of our daughter and everything like that. Follow along if you want to hear more about my journey and my family's journey with the newborn. Me and Berlin are going to be documenting more stuff and posting. Like the video and subscribe and follow along with our journey.